All right, guys, welcome to the podcast, to the Star Wars Loyalist podcast, episode 1, with your host, BUST&Oz. Oz, say a couple words, please.
This is me talking.
All right, this is going to be the first time that we do a podcast in this format. I know usually we've done podcasts in the past. We've done a couple of them. We had a Star Wars talk, I think it was before episode 8. We had like 4 different channels. I remember that. That was a pretty big podcast. And then we've had a couple of live game feeds when we to fuck around Fortnite. What was that other game that we used to play a lot, Johnny?
Oh, that was 7 days.
7 days. No, the one before that one that we would. What was it called?
Well, seeing as how I have a memory of a goldfish, I am not really going to be helpful here.
Anyway, we would kill a bunch of like zombie-looking things, and it was like a big group. We would all get together. Remember that one stairway? We would funnel them in.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, Killing Floor.
Killing Floor 2. That game. We need to get that game back. That was actually a pretty good game.
Right? Man, this Star Wars topic is going so well right now.
Yeah, shit. Anyways, back to the thing. The reason for this podcast, foremost, is because, of course, we're about 3 weeks away from the premiere. I've been wanting to do this podcast for a while now, and it only makes sense that we get our feelings out there. So with us today, though, we do have a special guest. He is one of my moderators for a group that I run, of course, Star Wars Loyalist on Facebook. His name is Carlos. Carlos, go ahead and give your introduction. Oh, yeah, that's awesome, man. So let's jump right into it, guys. What are your? I guess we'll start off with Johnny. Johnny, what is your thoughts, aspirations, predictions on Star Wars Episode 9: Rise of the Skywalker?
Well, I've been looking at the poster a good bit. In all honesty, that's kind of what I've just been basing it off of. Seeing how everybody that they have in there and whatnot, the 4 main characters, I'd have to probably go with, I don't know, something.
It's tough because they're doing a really good job with their marketing. I don't know if you guys realize it now. They're just giving us true little bits and pieces. They're not really. There's no context in any of it, and it's really rare it's really rare that you see that nowadays. I mean, I know
they've really laid out like the bare minimum that they have to in order to get as much hype for it as possible.
Exactly. Yeah. My thing with as far as predictions is I'm not a believer in the leaks portion of it. Like I like to see them because I know that I had researched this thing a long time ago that said if you know what's gonna happen beforehand, it makes you enjoy the movie more. Now, this is it's one of those mental things that I had seen. I think it was like on one of those apps that show you like fun facts or whatever. Now, obviously, this isn't going to work for anybody, right? Or not everybody, but some of these leaks are so fucking far-fetched and I'm such a conspiracy theorist that I sincerely believe that either Lucasfilms or maybe just one random freaking loyalist out there is making up all these damn leaks, and like in an attempt to mask how good this is actually going to be. You know what I mean? Like to really give us that, Luke, I am your father surprise. You know what I mean? Like that was the last time that because right now, as far as we know, like let's state the simple facts, right? As far as we know right now, Ben Solo is obviously the son of Han Solo and Leia. We know that Finn was taken as a child to be a stormtrooper. We don't know much about Poe Dameron. Um, all we know right now, and that's as per what Kylo Ren said, Rey is a freaking nobody. Her parents were junk traders, were died, and Now, is he saying the truth? I don't know. I don't know. This guy's it's been proven before that he's easily manipulated. Um, they've had their minds messed with before by Snoke. So I don't know. I mean, even though she's the one that admitted it, but what if? I mean, I don't know, man. It's so out there. Either that's me, hopingly thinking that she has more of a significance. Um, I know I was a real big. She's a Skywalker. She's a Skywalker before all this, but now it's like I don't even know what the hell she is.
I mean, it kind of. Go ahead. I was gonna say it kind of jumps ship with the whole cliche of the whole, a hero just emerges out of just rubble and whatnot, just out of nowhere. And yes, they'll talk about it later. They'll say like, "Oh, well, the reason that they're so powerful with the Force or and whatnot is because of I don't know this bloodline or something or another." Yeah, it's slightly a little bit cliche and whatnot, but hopefully with how they introduce how she came to be and whatnot, maybe they'll be able to kind of avoid that.
Okay. Carlos, what do you think, Carlos? Sure. Hmm. Oh, okay, okay, I see that. I can definitely see that happening, actually. And and I've seen that theory tossing around a lot too that she's a Palpatine, that she's a granddaughter of Palpatine. Now, my thing is, okay, if she's a granddaughter with Palpatine, I would take it for what it is, right? But if she's a granddaughter of Palpatine, that means Palpatine had to have had kids, and where's that? I don't know, and I might be wrong because I'm not too um, knowledgeable in the whole EU, right? Like, I mean, I don't know if maybe there's books where Palpatine had kids, and then they'll no, and that even then to see if that would even be canon. Um, but see, so that's why I don't give a lot of merit to a lot of these leaks because that just doesn't make sense. People want her to be a Palpatine, so they'll just say, "Oh, she's a granddaughter." Well, yeah, it fits the narrative of the fact that with the time stamp, right, of how long Palpatine has been away for, blah blah. It would make sense that he'd be a granddaughter, but he would have to have kids, and Palpatine. A lot, I mean, as far as we know, in the canon wise, in the movie universe, he never even had a girlfriend or a wife or whatever. Doesn't make
I
any sense.
mean, one thing that'll solidify a decision for me on that case is George Lucas. We're gonna need to see some child support. We're gonna need to see some child support papers from Palpatine. Gotta have his name on it.
It would be more believable that he created her out of the ether, like kind of like the way that he created Anakin. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
that would yeah, that would be more believable. But even at that, if he created Anakin, Anakin was still. I mean, it's. Have you guys seen that radio interview uh, that Prince guy did? He was a voice actor for a Freddie Prince Jr. Yeah, Freddie Prince Jr. He was an actor. He was a voice actor for one of the Rebels things. Yeah, yeah, he was canon. He specifically said that a lot of this goes with the balance of the Force, right? When Palpatine seduced Darth Vader, that was two to the dark side. So then, what was produced by the Force? You had two light, which were Leia and Luke. So there's always going to be balance, right? There's always going to be balance. Now, if going back, if Palpatine did create Anakin and he created Rey as well, how would that work? Would that work because Anakin became Darth Vader and he was bad, so Rey's good, even though Anakin was actually redeemed at the end of Episode 6? So does that mean that she's gonna go bad at the end of Episode 9? And it's weird, bro. It's such a mind fuck. It's not even funny. Hmm. Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oh yes, 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 yes. Yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true. At most, yeah, 20, yeah, in the mid 20s. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. You know what? I still, and I've said this I've said this from Episode 8, no, Episode 7. I'm sorry. Um, and I might be the only one, but and it is completely off topic, right? But Poe Dameron, what are the chances that somehow this whole story is nothing but a big magic trick? Them waving Kylo and Rey in front of our face, and at the end of the day, Poe Dameron's the actual one that's fucking. I mean, you can't possibly fly that good and not be force sensitive. That's just it's. I don't. And not only that, but he is going to be the next leader of the rebellion. I mean, with Leia passing away, naturally he would be the next one to step up. I mean, Hollo's not there anymore. He's the most experienced one with the rebellion. He's the one that looks like he's the natural leader. I have a feeling that he's going to be a little bit more involved in this next one. But then again, I've also said that about Episode 8. But I'm just saying, there's no way. That's true. He was. Yeah, he really was. He actually was. That's my thing is, I feel like he's going to be more used. And I feel like if I had to pick what's the big, reveal, it's going to involve Poe Dameron. I don't know why I feel that. But I mean, shit, the way that guy flies, and you're talking about, I mean, Luke was a great flyer, Han will obviously, right? We've already seen that Kylo Ren can fly pretty freaking good. Now, I'm not saying that just flying makes you the best force user in the world, but I mean, come on, you can't freaking fly that good and not be force sensitive. Um, is it? Exactly. So here's another question I want to ask both of y'all. As far as the whole Raylo thing goes, what are y'all's feelings about that? How about you, Johnny? What do you think about the whole Raylo situation?
I mean, he basically hit the nail on the head for me. Um,
Now, do you think there's going to be a connection between Ray and Kylo as far as any kind of like romanticizing it? I know it's not a Star Wars thing, but Disney has to put their little spin
Probably
on it, I
not.
imagine. Now,
Probably
the
not. No.
now I don't know why I was watching the other ones again not too long ago, and I know that there's something there, obviously, right? Because there has to be because they're just so strong when they communicate with each other. Could it be that they're related? I mean, because they haven't had any actual kind of romantic um, vibes between the two. There's always been like a let me help you, let me like wanting to do more for each other. I mean, I take that back. I know Kylo
Well,
Ren. Kylo,
yeah.
yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, I know Kylo Ren has been like his famous line, "You're nothing, you're nobody, but not to me." Like, so that one, it's like, okay, and how do you like? He says it so elegantly, but no context whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Like, in what way
Well,
do
does he
you mean
say
that?
that in the case of? Does he say that in the case of like a person or just another tool?
Well, both. See, that's the thing though, because he says that because he's telling her that your parents were
Yeah.
basically nobody. You have no place in the story. But but at the same time, you've kicked my ass several times already. I kind of want you to be on my side now. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So,
I see you as
yeah.
my equal, but do this for me.
Yeah. So, it's a tough one, man. I don't know. I the way I see it going is they're gonna go. I had even heard that Chewie's gonna get caught, and they're gonna. That's like one of the rescue missions is to go save Chewie. It's all different, bro. What I feel is gonna happen, and I'll tell you this much: I have seen in almost every leak that I've seen, Kylo Ren does die. If Kylo Ren dies, and it's not in the most heroic way, I will boycott so fucking bad. I fucking love, and it's weird, bro. You know what? That's weird about me. I mean, I like Darth Vader. Darth Vader was a cool character. He wasn't my favorite. I've always been a Skywalker guy, right? I've always been a Luke Skywalker. I've even been a Han Solo. But I don't know what the hell it is about Kylo Ren that I'm so freaking like, I'm in love with the dude. I don't know why. I guess it's his relatableness. I mean, he's so emo, right? And not that I'm emo, but I mean, I can understand. Like after the Last Jedi, and people can shit on it all they want, but after the Last Jedi, I mean, imagine, right? You're learning to be a freaking Jedi, like your uncle, who's the legend of Jedi's, to wake up and seeing him about to kill you, and so you reacted. I mean, you had no idea that he had a force vision. So imagine. I mean, I can imagine that he's very heartbroken over how bad his uncle wanted to kill him. That's what made him go all dark, and that's what made him. Besides the fact that he was seduced right by fucking Snoke, but exactly, that's what put him to that. So I can understand where the frustration's coming from. It's relatable, it's understandable, and I think that's what the prequels tried doing for Vader. And make you understand where he was coming from and why he went so dark. This movie was able to capture all that in what, a movie and a half. You know what I'm saying? So um,
Yeah.
that's why to me he's a lot more relatable because I was able to understand it a lot more. But I don't know, man. If he, I really hope he's redeemed.
I
Um,
mean, what about did you ever take and consider the case that it's a bait and switch that Ray actually will end up sacrificing herself for him and he switches over sides?
Holy shit, Johnny! That would actually be pretty fucking badass. That would
Just
actually.
like Ray, like make it so that everyone thinks that Ray is the next biggest thing. She's gonna be, and she's dead. Yep. Yep.
God damn it! I hadn't thought about that. That's actually a really good one.
I'm calling it right now. That's what I'm going with.
That's it.
That's my prediction right there.
I like that one.
Bait and switch.
She makes the
Put it on the
ultimate
board.
sacrifice, and he becomes the Skywalker part of his bloodline.
Yep.
God damn it, Johnny. See, I knew there was a good reason to make you co-host of the show.
I thought it was just because my witty banter and smart ass comments.
Well, that too. That too. All right. Well, we're gonna end that. That was a good way to fucking end that segment. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was pretty good. Okay. So then I will definitely fucking boycott. That's gonna happen.
Well, I
That's
mean, age is kind of thing too. So if it's not going to be a
well, but you
lightsaber,
know what? But you know what?
it's gonna be
No,
it's
honestly,
gonna be the hip.
I would prefer, I wouldn't mind seeing Chewie. I don't know, bro. I like Chewie though. Yeah. Oh, damn it. Watch, watch fucking. You know how the Ewoks saved Episode 6? Watch C-3PO save these motherfuckers with that bowcaster. Oh man, dude. This week you go up. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, yeah. Download it into his thing. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. That's it. All right, we're gonna end that segment there. Man, that was a good talk.
Cliffhanger.
Yeah. What I want to hop into now? I want to talk about and I've seen a couple of YouTubers call it the fandom menace. Um, and how where can we say that it completely went wrong? Is it really the Last Jedi that split the fandom, or is it something else? Um, I'll start off with my thoughts, and then we'll take it from there. But I sincerely believe that it's that Star Wars fandom was split due to the influence of today's. I'm just saying. I think it's like the politics involved. You know, the what politics has done to people is make it a popular thing to hate on something. You know, and I think that it's one person said they didn't like it, so it's like okay, then that person must have a lot of influence because that's a thing now. You can be an influencer. So then, therefore, he passed it on and passed it on and passed it on, and then now you have a whole group of people that just fucking hate the Last Jedi. And I mean, I have literally fought. I mean, I've seen people go to fisticuffs over this kind of shit. And I legit think that it's a hate on Star Wars because it's a cool thing to do right now. I really don't feel that the Last Jedi. Now, granted, I've seen the Last Jedi several times. Do I like it? Yes. Do I love it? I mean, I could say I love it. I love everything Star Wars. Is it the best Star Wars movie ever made? Of course not. But um, it's not to the point where it would really split a fandom that fucking much. I just think that it's in today's culture. Um, you know, one person hates it, they have a big following, so now all of a sudden everybody hates it. Um, I think that's what I think it's a culture thing. I don't think that it's the movie itself. Those are my 2 cents. What about you, Carlos? You go ahead. Okay, I can see that. I can see that. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. All right, Johnny. What about you?
Well, when it comes to success, everyone knows that there's also going to be a level of just backlash that comes along with it. Like, for example, that almost everybody can relate to would be the game Minecraft. When that first came out and whatnot, and it became hugely successful, there was actually a lot of backlash against it, whether it was people just against video games or older kids against, playing it because, it's for kids. In this kind of same sense, it's because it's so successful that obviously there is going to be backlash. I mean, that's just something that's going to be inevitable. There's no way around it. It's just the case of holding off, waiting to see what happens. It's if things keep going the way it does, and they keep putting out like good movies and whatnot, it'll end up just killing itself off because sooner or later they're going to realize that the negativity is not going to get them anywhere. It's just it's a high school strategy. That's what it is. Yeah, either
Yeah.
keep hating on it and just, until everyone agrees with you, or until everyone bails on you and then it just dies in the dirt and you move on to the next thing.
Could it also be though? Could it really be on the quality of the product that we have, like the movies? Because as we've seen recently with the Mandalorian, um, that's bringing a lot of the fandom together. I've actually seen people that talk shit on everything Star Wars actually have been talking real pop. Granted, you're still gonna have your people that are, just shit people are talking shit about the Mandalorian, which baffles me. I mean, I haven't met someone personally that sees the Mandalorian and doesn't like it. I've seen trolls and people that continue with this whole let's hate on everything Star Wars. Take shit on it. But I mean, other than that, I mean, what can people really talk bad about the Mandalorian? That shit's fucking amazing. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's only one thing that people can talk about, and that's our new Lord and Savior, Baby Yoda.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's true. That's very true.
I was gonna say, how old
Like
did they say that Baby
Yoda
Yoda
died.
is? Like 55? 50? Yeah.
Yeah, right now he's 50. It blows my mind, bro.
That
It
brings
blows.
up the question though for me, can everyone use it? Do you just need a do you just need like a kind of connection with it to use it, or is
Well,
just the
if you
ability to use it different to
if you
everybody?
if you go back to episode one, the midichlorians inside of a person is what makes you like strong with the force or not. Correct? I don't know if I could be wrong on this. Yeah. Hmm.
Hmm.
Because there's people that aren't like Mas Kanata. She said herself, "I'm not a Jedi, but I know the Force." And she actually unlocked Ray. She helped Ray to actually connect with her a little better. Yeah, better. Yeah, exactly. Hmm.
So that
So
brings
it
up the thought also for me is in the end of all this, once all the movies are done, if ever, do you think that everyone's like through like a huge sacrifice or something like this or another? Do you think everyone's gonna have like the ability to channel the Force, so that there aren't any Skywalkers or anymore or any Sith or anything like that? Everyone is going to be on equal playing fields then. Mm. Yeah.
because at the end of the day, if you make it an equal playing field, I mean, I can see that makes it balanced. But that's not. I don't think that's a balance that they are or that should exist in this universe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think they need to have
I was
it
gonna.
to one of those balances where you need to have your good and your bad, and it just
And
needs
if
to
they did
stay.
take it that way, then they could start a whole new franchise on
That is
people
true.
who don't have the Force.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
All
I
righty,
think
boys.
that I would think that would be a cash cow route. That would probably just be a cash cow route.
Which, I mean, it's not too far fetched at this point.
Yeah.
Not too far
It's in the
fetched,
realm of
but
possibilities. It's not
exactly,
high up there.
exactly. All righty, boys. We're gonna go ahead and end the episode. That was a good first episode, man. We got a lot talked about, a lot accomplished. Carlos, would appreciate you for coming by, brother. Um,
Thank you, buddy.
um, we'll definitely have you back for future episodes. I do want to have a pre-thoughts episode maybe on the 18th, start December 18th, because the movie goes live on the 19th. I know that's when I'm watching it. Um, so we're gonna have our pre-thoughts. You know how we're feeling, what we're thinking right before game time, and then maybe about a week later do a group review of the whole movie. Maybe go into details. By that time, I'm gonna probably see it like 4 or 5 times. I'm not gonna lie to you. Um, so I should have a pretty good understanding of it by then. Um, but yeah, again, guys, thank you for watching the Star Wars Loyalist podcast today. And Johnny, do you have any words to say goodbye to the peeps?
Um, don't hit. Don't let the door hit where the good Lord split you.
I was waiting for it. All right, guys, you
Yep.
guys have a good one.